Thank you guys for hanging out today. My name is Cleveland Terry. This is what we do. We talk about all things DJ related, and today's DJ update is probably a very, very important one to a lot of people, specifically the people that use the Rev 7. You're going to be happy. Let's talk about it. If we know Alpha Theta / Pioneer DJs, kind of their history of updates, it's been a little sporadic. Sometimes they get updates, sometimes they don't. You can have something like a ddj-1000, it only works for Rekordbox, and then now we have a ddj-1000 that is an SRT that works with Serato. Now, we all know this board came out and it was Serato only. That might change. But first, let's talk about, these are the top 4 updates in this firmware that you're going to want to download, and by the time you watch this video, the firmware should be out. But these are the top 4 updates that I think a lot of people have been begging for, and they're here. Okay, so let's talk about the first one, the easiest one. Let's head over here to the 33 and 45. Now, a lot of people complained about this button because they accidentally hit it when they were going to the start and stop, and it was speeding up their songs, messing up their mixes. Well, they have fixed this. That is gone. That won't be a problem after today. So if we go down to the 33 and we go into the settings, we can now change whether this be a single click or a long press to switch it over. Now, you can't accidentally change it. You have to hold down the button and it brings down the speed. So that's a huge one. A lot of people are going to be really, really happy about that one. That's probably one of the most important ones. But also, you guys remember when the Rev 7 came out, stems wasn't a thing yet. So when they came out, you had your pads here, you had the secondary pads up here, and obviously you had your scratch bank and your instant scratch. Well, most people, when stems came aboard, they would just MIDI map all of these. And that's what we've been doing. We've been MIDI mapping these, the hot cue and the scratch bank, to allow for the standard solos and then the effects. Well, now they have put this in as a default. So all you have to do is hold down hot cue and scratch bank. We'll do it on this side. And now you get your mutes. But also, along with that particular thing, they've also added in stem EQ. You guys probably have seen it on the Flex 10 and the Rev 5. Well, now it's a part of the Rev 7. So by holding down Shift in either reverb or flanger, and this represents both the left deck and the right deck. So by holding Shift and reverb, now, gone. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, that doesn't sound like Serato stems. They sound a little like, I don't know, DJ 1.0, Virtual DJ 1.0. Well, that's because we are rocking the newly updated firmware that allows anybody to use Rekordbox. So now if you are a Rekordbox user, you can use the Rev 7 natively. You don't have to use Serato if you don't want to. You can use Rekordbox. I think the world's coming to an end. The polarized caps are melting. There's hell. It's frozen over. Like, all of these things, I didn't expect this to ever happen, but it has happened, and I'm very happy. Now, for a lot of people, you know, there's Serato users and there's Rekordbox users. I know far more Serato users than I know Rekordbox users, although I do know one, and that's War and Peace from DMS, aka Direct Music Service. He's gonna love this feature. Speaking of, that brings us right to our sponsor of today's video, and that is Direct Music Service. Now, if you guys are using pools and you're like me and you're an established DJ or you're a new DJ, record pools can be kind of the life force, the life's blood of what you're doing. Especially if you're a new DJ, it's far cheaper to be on record pools to build up your music catalog than trying to buy each and every song. Now, there's tons of record pools out there, but for an established DJ like me, the reason why I do like Direct Music Service is because their curation is fantastic. There's a lot of services out there that offer this kind of curation. A lot of people don't realize that record pools have them in there. So take a look at Direct Music Services. If you use my code, you can get discounts on the monthly and on the annual. Please take a look at it. You'll be very, very happy that you did. Once again, thank you, Direct Music Service, for the sponsor today. Okay, moving back. Now, what have we talked about? We talked about the 33 and the 45. We talked about the stem EQ. We talked about the regular stem support natively on the board. And then, of course, we talked about Rekordbox. Now, those are the big things. Obviously, you're going to have to update your firmware, and then you're going to have to update your Rekordbox. I believe it's 6.84 or something like that you're going to need to download. My guess is it's going to be on the Rekordbox software, so just go to their website and be able to download that so you can have access to this. Download the firmware, download that. You're a Serato user, again, Serato, you're just going to download both the firmware and the Serato new version, and it's going to give you access to all these things. So some of you people that are like, I'm never updating title, well, this might be a reason to update, okay? Especially if you like stem EQ. Now, one thing I will mention before we move to Serato, and that's just one little thing right here. When I mute the vocals, and let's say I'm in stem EQ, if you notice that by muting the vocals, I have no control over the stem EQ in Rekordbox. There's only one, either you're using it this way or you're using it from the knobs, but it does not talk to the pads. Now, this is something that is specific to Rekordbox. That does not happen in Serato. With Serato, they talk one-on-one. It's a lot cleaner as far if you really are working both of them and you want to know where you are in regards to your stems. So now, if we stem EQ this, you notice pad goes out. Okay, guys, girls, if you found what I said are useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said are really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the threads. Get on my Discord, because that's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry. Let me know in the comments below if you are a Rekordbox user that moved over to Serato, if you're going to be moving back to Rekordbox. I'm curious. I want to know. Put in the chat below. All right, guys, girls, always a pleasure. If I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.